The other day I was watching a YouTube video, a house tour by NSO Zimmer. He was touring Iman Gadzhi's house, and it was a pretty standard video anyway. It's just cool house, showing the bathrooms, garage, all that kind of stuff. But the interesting part of the entire video was when I went to the comment section, and the entire comment section, like 90% of Enes's comment section, was just filled with this guy's a scammer, scam, Enes, I'm so disappointed in you, how can you pull on a scammer? And to be honest, it got me thinking, it's like, why is everyone talking about Iman Gadzhi as a scammer? Now, I've known Iman Gadzhi, I've been watching his content since 2017, 2018, since it started. Basically, heard about him when I was in university in 2018, and ever since I've been following his journey. I've bought his courses as well, and seeing that was really shocking, because on his Instagram and TikTok, everything looks like he's doing well, he's making a lot of money, he's helping his students and all that fun stuff. And then just to go on Instagram and to see the exact opposite of everybody calling him a scammer, like way worse than even the likes of Ty Lopez or Grant Cardone. This, kind of raised a bit of a red flag for me. And I wanted to kind of uncover and talk about why exactly does the online agency and info space right now feel so toxic, and why does it feel like everyone that steps into this space is automatically a scammer, a course seller, and you get a bunch of memes about you. I mean, first of all, let's just start with this. I don't think Iman Gadzhi is a scammer, and that's not because I've made hundreds of millions of dollars after buying his courses. It's more so because of the mindset I bought his course with. I didn't buy his mindset thinking I was going to make $10,000 in the next 3 months just because I bought an Iman Gadzhi course. And I think that's where the disconnect with a lot of people come in. A lot of people buying the Gadzhi course, and he's also promoting a new event this January too, and a bunch of people are going to be going into the funnel and coming out with a course or coming out with a program at the end of the day. And most likely, if they do not succeed, they're also going to be bitter and call him a scammer. But that's kind of what made me want to get down to this video. The same day I was watching the Iman Gadzhi show on YouTube, I got served an ad on Instagram. And this ad was basically a masterclass that was taught by Kim Kardashian. And it was basically something about the 5 pillars of success in business and something. And it's kind of why I wanted to come back to this space and talk about what is going on in the market today. So people have being sold a whole lot of stuff in terms of what will make them money. And they're being sold this stuff by people that have made a lot of money. But the people that have made a lot of money are not being clear exactly about the skill or the unique mechanism that got them to make a lot of money. So for example, in the case of Iman Gadzhi is a genius at getting people to pay attention to him, at getting to create beautiful, well-created content that makes you feel something, that makes you feel that, what he's talking about or the goals that he's achieved anyways are accessible to you. That is his, billion-dollar skill, and it's something that he should get paid for. On the other hand, the business model he's selling you might not be the thing that got him, this multiple hundreds of millions of dollars that he manages to make every year. The, upcoming AI info product where you can sell digital products. It's that is such a hard business to make it in, because first of all, you need distribution. Distribution is 80-20. If you don't have distribution and you think you're gonna cold message people or put your stuff on a marketplace and people are gonna buy it, it's not gonna work, because distribution is the ability to actually get people to know about your stuff and want to buy your stuff. That's pretty much it. If you don't have distribution, even if you have a good product, people are not going to buy it. But that's by the wayside. When I thought about the Kim Kardashian stuff and taking her masterclass, because I saw the masterclass, and in my mind, the first thing that came to my mind was, this would be a cool thing to actually buy and kind of, see what's behind the scenes of Kim Kardashian, because her skill and the thing that makes her the billion-dollar woman that she is today, in my opinion, is not her business acumen. It's basically her ability to get and retain attention. She's had mega superstar attention on her for almost 2 decades right now, and she's still moving with that kind of attention. It's like she has a whirlpool around her that just sucks attention and brings people to want to know her, care about what she's selling. And at the end of the day, she can productifies herself and put, whether that's Skims or a lipstick brand or her swimwear brand, whatever she wants to put behind that brand, she can put that behind that brand. But the skill is not, the business that's behind the brand. The business can be a commoditized offer. Like almost anybody can, go to China and get like products to be manufactured in China and come and sell it in the West. That's not the skill. The $1 billion skill is how do you get attention? How do you get people to care about what you actually sell in the first place? And how do you productivize yourself? Now, for that skill, I feel like Kim Kardashian should be worth multiple tens of billions of dollars. But the business behind it and, what the masterclass was teaching you is not essentially what I would want to buy as somebody that, like looks at her as a great business person. I want to buy basically how does she get attention? How does she convert attention? How does she make sure that her family is always being talked about in the right places? How does she make sure that like she can keep on going and not tire out and not just fade out after one summer? That's the difference I noticed, right? The core skill versus the product that people are selling. The core skill for me, I feel like people don't pay enough attention to the ability to actually get attention, the ability to build an audience that converts into actual digital products. That's the skill that Iman Gadzhi has. For Kim, it's that actual ability to, get attention, retain that attention, and get the people that you had the attention of to actually convert into your physical products like the Skims wear or the lipstick brand or the makeup brand or whatever the brand is. Why do people think somebody like Iman is a scammer? He's just running, a regular home tour on another person's channel and like 90% of the comment is just basically scam, scam, scam. And I think the feeling of being scammed originates from, the promise that people have when they're buying the product versus the actual delivered product. So if you go into Iman Gadzhi's program and you go into Iman Gadzhi's course, believing that all you have to do is pay $1,500 and you walk out of it, you put a bit of work behind it, and then in the next 3 months, you have a business that's making you $5K per month, $10K per month. You're going to feel scammed if that's the mindset you go into his programs, any of his programs with anyways. Because what you think you're buying, what, his fancy edits does and what, the shots of the nice houses, the mansions, all that fun stuff, what that does is to give you an impression of buying into success, buying into that lifestyle of levity, of grandiose. But when you actually buy the product, what you need to actually get those things out of life is what you need is distribution. What you need is sales. What you need is good client delivery mechanisms. What you need is the ability to actually know how to run ads to get people to want to buy or see your product. What you need is the actual ability to create good products. And that's not what gets taught. What you will get taught is the system that could make you that money. But the system alone is not important. The system alone is almost a commoditized offer. Like anybody can go and create a course and use AI to write up something. But that's not what makes people buy courses. What makes people buy courses is who is actually writing the material behind this course. Is it Elon Musk? Is it Jeff Bezos? Is it Iman Gadzhi? Is it Ryan Serra? Is it any of these names that I know? Because you could write the best book in the world, but if you don't have a name that goes behind it and there's nothing about your best book in the world that makes people want to actually buy it, then you're not gonna sell. Your book is not just gonna sell. So if somebody sells you how to make the best book in the world, you shouldn't want to buy it. Or if somebody sells you how to make the best course in the world, if somebody sells you how to make the best digital product in the world, that's not what you should want to buy. What you should want to buy is, how do I get myself to be the best selling? How do I sell this product? How do I get the best distribution? Because that's 80-20. That's the thing that makes people actually want to buy your product. The product could be average. Just think about Prime by KSI and Logan Paul, or Base Chocolates by Mr. Beast, or even the Kim Kardashian brand, the Kylie Jenner brand, Iman Gadzhi as a brand. All of these brands, the products behind them might be good. I haven't tried any of them, but all of these brands are multi-billion-dollar brands, not because of the product, but because of the distribution. So if you don't have that distribution, then what you're doing, even if you create a better chocolate than Mr. Beast chocolate, you wouldn't sell even 1% of what Mr. Beast sells, because it's not about the product. It's about the branding. It's about the ability to get distribution. It's about the ability to get attention towards that piece of product. The online agency coaching space is all broken because the incentives are non-aligned, which means that the most profitable action that you can make in the online education space today is not to actually deliver exceptional client services to your actual clients, but it's to sell the idea of delivering exceptional services to your clients. The economic incentive is tied toward teaching and putting together a program that teaches people how to do the program rather than actually doing it and making money from the doing. Because making money from the doing is hard, because then you have tangible problems. You have problems with service delivery. You have people that you promised to get them good services, but you were not able to get them good services. So you have to make good on that. Different cases of, basically clients quitting on you, or even staff quitting on you, and now you have to hire new staff, you have to manage that. All of that problem, you don't get that by selling information. You don't get to, have staff that you need to hire or fire by selling information. All you have to do there is just sell the information, sell the idea of implementation, and then wait for the people to implement it. The success in this field creates an unavoidable skill gap, which means as gurus become more successful at selling courses, they become disconnected from the day-to-day of actually running the business. And even if they're selling you something that they might have done before, like running a business day-to-day, today, especially in like the marketing agency space or selling digital products, is very different from what it was in 2015 or 2020 or even 2023. These markets are constantly changing. The system optimizes for conversion, not for student results. So out of all of these programs that are being pushed out there, it's like, how many of the people in the programs actually go back and sit down and say, okay, in my program, how many people not just did go through it, but how many people on the back end converted into like people that won at the business model I was teaching them? So, for example, would that be 90% of your students that go through the program end up quitting after, the first 2 months? Or is it 10% of the people that basically build 100,000 per month business? Or is it 1% of the people? Like, what are the numbers? These are the things that I think are important, because when the primary goal is sales, the focus basically shifts from genuine education to psychological manipulation. And I'd like to touch on manipulation, because manipulation is actually something that the word feels heavy, but I feel like every day in the real world anyways, we're always almost being manipulated by so many things. So manipulated by, cosmetic companies that want to sell us cosmetics, or food companies that want to sell us food, or drug companies that want to sell us drugs. There's just a whole lot of manipulation that's going out there. And, we call it different words. We call it advertising, we call it, sales, we call it whatever. But when something doesn't feel aligned and it feels like it's being pushed on you, I'd say that's more so manipulation. The most successful agency owners are people and service providers that, have worked hard, that have learned the actual business by either working for a business that does that service or spent years offering their services for free. They found new clients and figured out as they went. The role of a course might be useful to provide a framework for you, but it's not there to make you successful. What you're buying is not access to the land of milk and honey. What you're buying is the roadmap. Roadmap does not mean you're going to get there for sure. The roadmap is just, hey, this is the path that somebody else has taken to the land of milk and honey. So don't think of the course as the keys to the gate of the land of milk and honey. Think of the course as somebody handing you the roadmap to the land of milk and honey. Most people on that roadmap will get stuck. They'll get burned. Most people will not make it. Few people will make it and they will feel like, they're better than everyone else. But for the most part, some of them were lucky. Some of them didn't get eaten by, the wolves and the vultures. But most people are going to be disillusioned. So I just wanted to make this video just to share my own point of view on this entire space, what's going on, why people feel like they're getting scammed, why the industry feels so toxic, and just to put my 2 cents together. And hopefully somebody watching the video out there and is buying a course gets some value from this. Appreciate it.